It's great to see you all here. Thank you for listening to my answer to the question given. My name is Nurpratista Anantiandria Amara and you can call me Tata. I'm a student at Universitas Tanjung Pura in Faculty Economic and Business. Today, I'm here to answer the question given by my lecturer, Sir Adi Mursalin. Firstly, I will answer the question on part A, which deal with the activities in Zoom meeting. There are 4 questions there. And next, I will answer the question on part B, which deal with the theory of advanced HRM. There are 16 questions, and then I will watch 2 videos given and answer the question that follow. Well, my dear friend, let me begin my answer. I'm quite active in attending advanced HRM class, and also I'm often involved in discussion when my friend present HRM materials. Sometimes I ask questions and sometimes I answer the question given. I'm quite interested in participating in the discussion if the material present really interests me. So there are 6 chapters that have been present before the mid-test. First is chapter 22 about organization design present by Kevin, and then chapter 23 about job design and role development present by Bagas, and then chapter 24 about organizational development, change and transformation present by Revelia, and then chapter 25 about human resource planning present by Tiffany, and then chapter 26 about talent management present by Andrian, and the last is chapter 27 about recruitment and selection present by Nita. From watching a presentation by my friend, I gained a lot of new knowledge about HRM and its practice in the company. I also get knowledge from HRM lecture about important things that are closely related to my daily life. The book used in the advanced HRM class is book titled A Handbook of Human Resource Management Practice by Michael Armstrong. This book was provided by Sir Adi Mursalin in PDF format. The primary advantage of a decentralized organization is that managers are able to make quick decisions that can save your company money. By empowering your manager, you trust their instinct and abilities because you know they understand the daily work process better than you. Another advantage is that it lightens your workload and frees you up to develop strategic plans for the future of your business. If you constantly having to micromanage the daily activities of your company, you will quickly become overloaded with problems and conflicts, which leave you little time to deal with the major strategies that will guide your organization. When you empower your manager, you also motivate them to work harder because they want to prove that your trust in them is well placed. Increased motivation can lead to better communication between manager and staff member and greater morale in the workplace. First is plan the future, and then consider the past. The third is build your organizational structure, and then fill in the people. And 5 is balance authority and responsibility, and the 6 is fill in employee data and metric, and then 7 is practice robust performance management of employee, and the last is review your organizational structure annually. First is the process of organizing. Organizing as a process refers to identifying and grouping the work to be performed, delegating authority and responsibility, and establishing mutual relationship for the purpose of accomplishing objective. And the second is the aim of organization design. The overall aim of organization design is to optimize the arrangement for conducting the affair of the business. But another overall aims of organization design is to achieve the best fit between the structure and this circumstance. And the third is conducting the organization reviews. Organizational reviews is the process to collect, organize, analyze, interpret, and share relevant information to enable the strengthening of the organization. The purpose of organizational review is to enhance organizational success through the development of insight and intelligence about the organization. The fourth is organization analysis. Organizational analysis is the process of appraising the growth, personnel, operation, and work environment of an entity. Undertaking an organizational analysis is beneficial as it enables management to identify area of weakness and then find approach of eliminating the problems. The relationship between job design and role development is that both are incentive given to them both to grow in their roles and to grow their roles by developing their competency and by expanding the range of their responsibilities so that their contribution exceed expectation. For example, with a job design, every worker has a role to complete his work. Job design is affected by organizational, environmental, and behavioral factors. A properly designed job will make it productive and satisfying. If a job fails on this count, the fault lies with the job designer who, based on the feedback, must redesign the job. Job enrichment is a vertical expansion of a job, which means it involves an expansion of function and responsibilities of the employee. Example of job enrichment include adding extra tasks, also called job enlargement, increasing skill variety, adding meaning to jobs, creating autonomy, and giving feedback. And then job enlargement. Job enlargement is a horizontal expansion of a job, which means the addition of extra duties and tasks to the same job. For example, an employee who will now also manage her own planning, where this was formerly done by her manager. And then job engagement. Job engagement is the involvement or linkage between the company and its employees. Organizational development is a critical and science-based process that helps organizations build their capacity to change and achieve greater effectiveness by developing, improving, and reinforcing strategies, structure, and process. Organizational transformation is a strategic method of getting your organization from where you are now to where you will need to be in the future. The best way to look into the future is to gain a sense of where things are moving. Change management is a systematic approach to dealing with the transition or transformation of an organization goals, process, or technology. The purpose of change management is to implement strategy for affecting change, controlling change, and helping people to adapt to change. There are two main types of change. First is strategic. Strategic change is concerned with the organizational transformation. It deals with both long-term and organization-wide issues. It is about moving to a future state which has been defined generally in terms of strategic vision and scope. And the second is operational change. Operational change relates to new system, procedure, structure, or technology which will have an immediate effect on working arrangement with a part of the organization. The first strategy to overcome resistance to change is to communicate. Communication is the key. We already know that, however, try to letting your employees initiate the conversation. People want to be heard, and giving them a chance to voice their opinions will help alleviate the frustration that feel over the situation. The next strategy to overcome resistance to change is to communicate the way, what, and how. Develop a communication plan is more than just telling your employees what you want them to do. According to Kurt Lewin, develop a change model involving 3 steps: unfreezing, changing, and refreezing. For Lewin, the process of change initially creating the perception that a change is needed, then moving toward the new, desired level of behavior, and finally solidifying that new behavior as the norm. According to Beckhart, a change program should incorporate the following process. The first is setting goals and defining the future state or organizational condition desired after the change, and then diagnosing the present condition in relation to these goals. And the third is defining the transition state activities and commitment required to meet the future state. And the last is developing strategies and action plan for the managing this transition in the light of an analysis of the factor likely to affect the introduction of change. According to Tarly described the following 5 approaches to managing change. First is directive, and then bargain, and then heart and minds, and then analytical, and the last is action-based. According to Quinn, the approach to strategic change is characterized as a process of artfully blending formal analysis, behavioral technique, and power politic to bring about cohesive step-by-step movement toward and which were initially conceived, but which are constantly refined and reset as a new information appears. Their integrating methodology can best be described as logical incrementation. Quinn emphasized that it is necessary to first create awareness and commitment, and then broaden political support, and then manage coalition, and then empower champions. White lines for change management. First is the achievement of sustainable change requires strong commitment and visionary leadership from the top, and then understanding is necessary of the culture of organization and the levels of change that are most likely to be effective in that culture. And the last is those concerned with the managing change at all levels should have the temperament and leadership skill appropriate to the circumstance of the organization and its change strategies. Human resource planning enables business to meet their current and future demand for talent, allowing human resource managers to anticipate and develop the skill most valuable to an organization, and providing the enterprise with the optimal balance of staff in terms of available skill sets and number of personnel. First is clarify organizational needs, and the second is identify your talent, and the third is manage expectation, and the fourth is keep a finger on the pulse, and the fifth is create meaningful existing jobs. First is the resourcing strategy, and the second is attraction and retention policies and programmers, and then talent audit, and the fourth is role development, and the fifth is talent relationship management, and number 6 is performance management, and the 7 is total reward, and number 8 is learning and development, and the last is career management. Recruitment is a core function of human resource department. It's a process that involves everything from identifying, attracting, screening, shortlisting, interviewing, selecting, hiring, and onboarding employees. The recruitment teams can be large or small depending on the size of an organization. Based on first video, organizational change management is an often overlooked and misunderstood work stream during ERP and HCM implementation. Some think of it as an activity to make people feel good during transformation. Some view it as simply employee training and communication, while others think that certification like PROSCI or COTER are what enable change. Based on second video, what we study from Advanced Human Resource Management lecture is divided into 4 different modules. Module 1 talk about performance appraisal, wherein we will be learning about analysis and design of performance standard. And then module 2 talk about employee benefit, wherein we will be studying about legally required employee benefit. And then module 3 is dedicated to IR, that is industrial relation and labor legislation, wherein we will be learning about a trade union and employees association. And then module 4 talk about contemporary issues in HRM, work-life balance, HR record, HR accounting, HR audit, and HR research. Well, my friend, that's all my answer. I hope that you can understand my answer. Please give comment and subscribe. Thank you.